Like, I think the Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup this year. The Islanders think they're going to win 5 in a row, but that's like totally bogus.
Oilers? The Oilers suck. Why would they win the Stanley Cup?
Are you kidding me? Gretzky's the greatest player in the world.
Gretzky? Don't you mean Hall?
Oh, you mean we're not actually in the 80s?
No.
Oh.
I'm Alexis Dixon.
I'm Brett McPhee.
And we're from Second Edition, and we're trying to show you how the 80s was.
That's right, we're here at Sports World Roller Rink trying to learn how to roller skate.
Yeah, and Brent keeps losing himself.
I do?
Yeah, so I think it's the hair, it's getting to his head.
I think so.
He keeps going back in time and staying there. Anyways, we got a great show packed up for you today.
We do. We've got Alora Paulson and Sean Harmon with the news.
We've got Spencer Payne for sports.
We've got Aaron Bizovi doing Survive This.
And then after that, we have an awesome movie review with David Adamaco-Anza and Jennifer Ramstead.
That's right. I can't wait, but first, I think we need to learn how to skate. So
exactly.
Let's give it a whirl here, and we'll start off the show with Sean and Alora and news.
Welcome to Second Edition. Prime Minister Stephen Harper made a noteworthy stop in Beaumont, Alberta on Monday.
Harper came to speak to Edmontonians in an attempt to regain the Strathcona seat lost to the NDP in the 2008 federal election. Crowds gathered outside École Bellevue School, hoping to get a chance to hear Harper's speech.
In the Capital Region, the Great Conservative Caucus of Northern Alberta, and on May 2nd, let's paint Alberta blue.
The Tories made their first election promise, targeting families with children 18 and under, including tax cuts should they win. NDP leader Jack Layton also paid Strathcona County a visit on Saturday, kicking off his campaign tour. Liberal leader Michael Ignatieff's tour has not yet reached the capital city, but Ignatieff did announce a proposal on Thursday for a $5 million early learning fund.
After a non-confidence vote on March 25th, Canada is headed back to the polls. Voters have mixed emotion on the $300 million that the election is going to cost. Also, take into consideration that this is the third federal election in the past 5 years.
Who cares really about the election in a way, right?
The parties have to look at a way in which they monitor how they spend money in the election, and they should be transparent about what they do spend.
Voting will take place May 2nd. Visit elections.ca for more information on registration, poll locations, and how to apply for advanced voting.
NAIT Student Association is making this year's end-of-school party bigger than ever. This year, the Student Association has moved the year-end bash into the City Center Airport hangar to accommodate a larger crowd. This year's theme is Hollywood, and the Student Association has invited some special guests.
We have a Michael Jackson impersonator, his name is Bishop Soul, Lady Gaga impersonator, plus DJ Mike Yuan will be spinning all night, plus we got members from the Shadow Twins.
With over half of the tickets already sold, NAITSA is expecting close to 400 people in attendance. Tickets can be purchased online at naitsa.ca for $20 or for $25 at the door. All NAIT students are invited and encouraged to bring their friends.
This past weekend, close to 50 radio and television students from NAIT and SAIT participated in the 4th annual Rogers Journalism Day. The event took place at NAIT, where radio students had the chance to have their demo tapes critiqued by program director Al Ford. Television students performed live new reads for Vinesh Pratap of Global Edmonton and Stacey Brotzel from City TV, who were on hand to provide the students with feedback.
Things are changing in how people get their information and interact with those media sources. That's all changing, but all the skills you learn are still quite applicable.
Attending the event was an obvious choice for these young journalists.
I wanted to come because they've got like a bunch of professionals here to tell us all this amazing stuff, so why not come and hear from the people who will probably be hiring you in like 3 to 10 years.
Journalism Day will continue to be an annual event for the next 3 years, as NAIT has a 7-year contract with Rogers.
Edmontonians were business as usual, welcoming the beginning of spring with the Edmonton Home and Garden Show. Whether it was for renovations or home decor, people of all walks of life joined in on this annual event. The Edmonton Home and Garden Show gives consumers the chance to check out hundreds of exhibits, from flooring to gardening to the latest in home technology.
It's really educational. There's a lot of things that are good for the environment, a lot of systems that people have never heard of before that to do with building, building your own home or your own systems inside your home. It has a lot of really interesting, innovative products.
Celebrity guests were on hand to talk about their home reno experiences and answer crowd questions. The Home and Garden Show has been running in Edmonton for the past 9 years. For those dreaming of the next big thing, wannabe entrepreneurs got their chance this week.
The popular TV show Dragon's Den made its way to Edmonton on Wednesday. Over 30 contestants came out to the Coast Plaza Hotel to pitch their ideas to a panel of judges, including the Wilson family, who came to present Fluffball, a cartoon centered around peace.
I had drawn him up 27 years ago and just into a storybook, and I've read it to them when they were younger and to my 2 older children, and the concept of him coming out now has happened in the last couple of years.
Dragon's Den aims to help budding entrepreneurs get their businesses off the ground. During their pitch, the hopefuls explained their ideas and business plans. The Wilson family, happy with their audition, is hoping to get $100,000 from the Dragons.
If we do go on to the Dragon's Den, that'll be a bonus. Yeah. But for us to come in here today was just something fun to do.
So Spencer, the Oilers have been in quite the slump recently.
Yeah, they've sure faced some bad luck. The Oilers trying to break their slump as they take on Dustin Penner and the LA Kings. We've got those highlights and more coming up right now in sports. Many kids dream of the chance to play alongside a professional sports star. Well, a few kids got a chance to experience it firsthand. The Edmonton Rush held a spring training camp for young lacrosse players this past week. The Rush players acted as coaches, passing on their skills to the young guns.
It's a lot of fun. There's lots of good athletes out there, so at the end of the day, it's just giving kids an avenue to explore the game of lacrosse.
Although playing with your favorite sports star may be an exhilarating thrill for kids, it's also nice to see for the parents too.
I think it's amazing. I think it's incredible that professional athletes are down there encouraging them, so hands-on. I've never seen it in a hockey camp or any other camps that we've been to.
Maybe the Rush players even picked up a trick or two heading into the playoff season. Edmonton Police Services put their dodgeball skills to the test. EPS, as well as Boys and Girls Club and United Way, put on the 2nd annual U-Dodge tournament. It's aimed at connecting youth and mentors together to help build skills and have some fun too.
And I remember last year one of the youth had said, Constable Michelle, what I love about this event is that it's adults paying to play with us and not just paying for us to play.
After a long day of dodgeball, participants were awarded for their hard work. When you think of Edmonton Oiler greats, some names come to mind. Mark Messier, Wayne Gretzky, Grant Fuhr, and ask any Oilers fan and they'll say Rod Phillips. Phillips has been the voice of the Edmonton Oilers for more than 37 years, but last night was his last before punching out his time card. Before the game, the Oilers host a pre-game ceremony honoring over 3,500 games and 5 Stanley Cup calls. Phillips would be retiring after tonight's game against the Los Angeles Kings. So let's start things off with the second period. Kings open the scoring with Trevor Lewis throwing it in front for Dustin Brown as he notches his 27th with the easy goal, giving the Kings a 1-0 lead. Still in the second, Theo Peckham coughs up the puck with a soft pass behind the net as Lewis steals it, then feeds Brown as he scores his 2nd of the night. That gave the Kings a 2-0 lead. And now, the end of an era.
This, of course, was my final Oilers broadcast. I want to thank the Edmonton Oilers for the opportunity they provided me. The Oilers have never been anything but first class to me and my family, and to the fans that have listened faithfully through the good times and the bad times, thank you very much. And now this is Rod Phillips saying good night and goodbye from Edmonton.
A touching sign-off as Rod Phillips says his last goodbye. The Kings do win 2-0. Jonathan Bernier records his 3rd shutout of the season. 4 of his 15 career wins are shutouts, and with the loss, the Oilers have now dropped 10 straight. Here now is Dustin Penner.
I know what it's like to be in that other room, and it's you feel for those guys, and it was tough playing against them because I developed pretty good friendships with a lot of them, and they got a bright future ahead of them, and it'll always be fun on my time here.
The largest stage in soccer has come to Edmonton. Well, maybe the stage is a little smaller. Edmonton's Mini World Cup kicked off this past Wednesday. The event started with players and coaches waving flags and proudly representing their countries. The tournament will play host to 76 teams representing 39 countries, all aiming for the cup.
Looking for a couple wins, get us through the next round, and just have a good time.
Thousands of spectators will be in attendance over the next couple of weeks.
Go, Dad, go.
It's a chance for you to get out and see some of the best soccer being played in Edmonton. If you're planning on watching a game, be quick because the final match will be held on April 13th. You can find the full schedule online at edsa.org.
Wow, that event looks like a lot of fun.
No, it really is. The energy down there is awesome. Great soccer. You get to meet lots of awesome people. So you two should definitely check it out if you get the chance.
Maybe I will. Thanks, Spencer.
Yeah, no problem.
Did you know that in the 80s, MTV Raps debuted for the very first time? E.T. topped the box office with $310 million in ticket sales. Yale University offered a 14-week course on how to master a Rubik's Cube. Michael Jackson was on fire in the 80s, and quite literally, his hair caught fire while filming a Pepsi commercial. Madonna definitely kept busy in the 80s as she married Sean Penn in August of 1985. Nude photos of her were published in Playboy and Penthouse. Desperately Seeking Susan was a box office hit, and she began her Like a Virgin tour with opening act Beastie Boys. Condom commercials were able to be seen for the very first time on TV, and Patrick Swayze shows the world that he can sing as well as he can dance and act with the song She's Like the Wind that premiered in Dirty Dancing. And now you know facts about the 80s.
So I was going to get a really awesome haircut, but I thought, why be a dweeb? I mean, look at this hair.
Bad hair days were obviously something of the 80s.
They sure were.
But Aaron Bozovi's going to show us how to survive a bad hair day.
Do you remember the 80s? The clothes, the cars, the hair? Looking at old yearbooks from the 80s sure makes you wonder if every day was a bad hair day. I went to Carrie L's Salon and Spa to find out more about surviving a bad hair day.
We don't leave the house, do we? No, we don't leave the house.
I put it in a ponytail because that's the easiest thing to do.
Avoiding a bad hair day starts, number one, with maintaining your shape. So finding a great stylist and getting your hair cut every 5 to 6 weeks just to make sure you're keeping your shape. If you don't have a good shape to your hair already, that's where your bad hair days start.
A few other tips Colette had were to work with your hair texture and specific products for your texture. And guys shouldn't be afraid to use hair dryers and products. It'll get your hair to stay right where you want it. The winner of the worst hairstyle from the 80s was the perm.
I used to have the bang, and the perm thing, yeah, so terrible. Yeah.
The mullet or the perm or a perm mullet.
Perms with banana clips. Completely heinous.
With advancements in hair products and salon quality curling and flat irons available at most local drugstores, bad hair days are a thing of the past. For Second Edition, I'm Erin Bozovi.
The 80s. Where have those days gone, Wayne, my boy? You remember the 80s, Alexis?
No, I was definitely born in 92.
Oh, well, greatest hockey ever played, right here in the Coliseum by the Oilers.
The Oilers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You wouldn't know it by
Definitely
the team
not.
now, would
Yeah.
you?
No.
Anyway, we've got a commercial break coming up, and then Ernest, where they're going to be cooking something hot, I hope, because it's cold out here, but I don't know if I can wait that long. You want to go
Do you
inside
think
and
they
get
have hot
something?
dogs inside?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, let's go get that. You stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Stop surfing that radio dial. Check out nr92.com to listen to your campus radio station. Check out show schedules, blogs, contests, and much more. NR92, the station for the students.
Come here, little Rocky. We're gonna go have so much fun together. You are just too cute. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
What are you doing?
I'm just spending some quality time with my little rock.
Dude, I've got an even bigger and better rock.
There's no way anything beats little Rocky.
Dude, it's a big rock.
The only rock you'll ever need. Big Rock.
Can I have that?
Don't be turned off by traditional radio websites.
Try a more enriching experience.
NR92.com has shows, contests, web links,
Oop games, and the best music 24/7. Choose NR92.com, the station for the students.
What if you were the DJ? What kind of music would you play?
At NR92, it's your music, your way. NR92, the station for the students.
Welcome to Cooking with Ernest. I'm your host, Brent McPhee, and I'm here with Chef Sheldon Polowick. And today we are cooking something near and dear to my heart, French fries, deep frying to be specific. And we're going to find out the best way to do that.
Yes, well, I start out with some russet potatoes.
Okay.
I'm actually going to throw those in right away so they get done in time.
And that's the best type of potato to use then?
Is russet, because if you use a red or yellow potato, they're high in sugar and they'll burn before they get done on the inside.
Okay. And these are obviously not McCain super fries. These are
no, these are hand-cut fries. I just cut these early and I blanched them.
Okay. And what exactly is blanching?
I cook them in about 325 degree oil for about 5 minutes, and then I take them out, drain them on paper to soak up the oil, and then let them cool down, and then you can cook them again. You'll get a more crispy product doing it that way.
Okay.
So these are cooking away. I'm also cooking in canola oil. It's low in saturated and trans fats.
So that's the best type of oil to use?
Yeah, it's a healthy oil and also has a very high smoke temperature, so the oil won't start on fire.
Okay. Roughly how long does it take?
It takes a couple minutes.
All right.
You can also do this if you don't want to do the blanching method, you're just kind of in a hurry. You can cook them straight through. I'd cook them about 350 and you can do that for about 5 to 6 minutes.
Okay. And how many servings can you cook at one time?
You can cook a couple servings. The main thing is, this depends on the size of pot you have. You don't want to put too much in there, so it can overflow, and it brings down the temperature of the oil.
Right.
So these
and in terms of preparation of the potatoes, do they need to be dried before you begin the process?
Yeah, you want to take a paper towel and make sure they're dry, because otherwise it will spatter too much.
Okay.
So these are finished here. I'm just going to
Those look fantastic.
Some pepper here.
Wow. And so you just season to taste then?
Yeah, I like salt and pepper on mine.
Okay. From a culinary perspective, should we eat them as they are, or ketchup or vinegar or anything?
I like mine with vinegar, personally.
Okay. And my most important question, do we get to eat these now?
Yes.
Oh, that'll be excellent. I'm looking forward to that already. Well, thank you for your excellent tips.
You're welcome.
I'll try to implement those next time I cook fries.
Yeah, well, the 80s definitely did have some big hair and definitely some pretty cool fashion tips.
Sure did. Look at the examples of big hair on these guys.
Exactly, that's crazy.
Massive.
Hey guys, what are you doing?
Hey, Natasha.
Oh, we're just looking at pictures
some of
from
the
the
old
80s.
photos and thinking how cool it would be to go back in time if you could.
Don't you think it'd be cool to have a picture of yourself from the 80s?
Actually, it's funny that you say that, because there's actually a website out there that lets you do just that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's called yearbookyourself.com.
Type in yearbookyourself.com. You'll get directed to the homepage. Click Start on the left-hand side to begin. You'll be given 3 options to choose from: Portrait, Student Life, or Most Likely to. For today, we'll try out portraits. Upload the picture you want to put in the portrait. Whichever picture you choose will show up in the empty oval frame. Adjust the photo by clicking Flip, or shift in the picture by clicking the Move button. Now is where the fun truly begins. Below the picture frame is a timeline where you can jump to the year of your liking. From perms to mullets to everything in between, the 80s were a decade that truly took your breath away. To finish, click Save underneath the portrait. Looking good, Brent. So where are we off to now, Brent?
Paramount Theater.
Paramount Theaters.
In the 80s, this was the best theater in the whole city.
Really?
You wouldn't know it now, it's a church, but yeah, people that knew movies in the 80s, they knew to come here.
Hey, you know who really knows movies? David and Jen. I believe they're having a movie review for us.
God, what's taking David so long? It's movie night. David, what are you wearing?
Duh. It's an 80s theme.
We're not the host, David.
It's movie night. Hot tub time machine.
1986.
It must be some kind of hot tub time machine.
The movie is about 4 guys who go on a ski trip and travel back in time through a hot tub.
The movie, starring John Cusack, Rob Corddry, Craig Robinson, and Clark Duke, takes place at Winterfest 86, where they spent the best weekend of their lives.
Let's get this party started!
The concept for this movie is original, but like the title, the humor is not.
Michael Jackson.
Black?
For me, Chevy Chase was the funniest part about this movie.
You put your hands on me, young lady.
I agree. I thought the movie was too vulgar and completely random at times. Like, what's up with the bear?
The movie couldn't decide whether it was a comedy or a drama.
This movie was a waste of time. We give it 1.25 hot tubs out of 5. Wait, no, 10.